Adar Uzion.
What is the one and only source for our hope?
Hope in Yeshua.
What he said, okay. Well, did God leave us anything that we can go by to find out what our hope should be like?
Yeah, His Word.
His Word.
All of His Word, not just Torah.
Would you think that Moses probably had more cause for hope than anybody else in the world?
Should have.
God spoke to him face to face.
That's what it says right at the end of Deuteronomy.
That's right.
The only
And she
word.
says we're live. I don't see anything on the screen, but that's okay. I want you to follow this week's Torah Parsha, which is a Sukkot. It's a Chol Hamoed scripture, intermediate days of a festival. And it starts off in Exodus chapter 33, verse 13, up on your screen there. Now, I'm going to change over to an English version so you can read it with me and get hopefully a little bit out of it. It says, now please, this is Moshe speaking. Anna, please, if it is really the case that I have found favor in your sight, show me your ways so that I will understand you and continue finding favor in your sight. Moreover, keep on seeing this nation as your people. He answered, set your mind at rest. My presence will go with you after all.
Can you please check your desktop presenter?
Oh, okay. Need to put my desktop presenter on, so if anybody is watching online, they'll be able to read with us. Did that fix it? It says it's on the right port, so it should work. Now, that's not the way it reads in the Hebrew.
That's what I'm reading in Hebrew, yes. It's different.
I want to go back to the Hebrew here, because you see, the Hebrew gives the real feeling and intensity of what's going on in this chapter.
Desktop presenter, can you check it real quick?
I did. It's on. I will turn it on again. Let me go turn it on again. Make sure it's on. I will close it out. And then I will bring it back up again. 192.168.1.4, David. The IP is 1.4. Is it there? Then let me make sure I am connected to the right network. It says Zion ITV1, is that right?
No. ITV2.
Oh, it's on ITV2, excuse me. Is that right? ITV2?
Yes.
Says it's connected. Okay, good. We can bring the Bible back up and continue. This is Exodus 33, beginning at verse 13. The devil must not want me talking any of this stuff today, because he has fought me on all this, and I don't care. He can fight me all he wants. And I'm just going to sit here and be mellow yellow or whatever. They call him mellow yellow. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Anyway, Exodus 33:13 says, Va'ata im na matzati chen ba'eineka. Hodiatni, na means please. Okay, let me just go back and do this word by word because it's so important to get the full understanding of all this. Va'ata. Now, we usually think of ata being as you know, masculine, but this is spelled with an ayin instead of an aleph, and so it is not a pronoun word, but it is a time-based word, and it's the pronoun the time-based word is ata, meaning now.
Yes.
Now, this minute, right here, right now. If, im means if, na, it means I pray, please. Okay? Matzati, I have found, chen. Everybody say, chen. Chen means grace or favor in your sight. Ba'eineka means in your sight. Hodiatni, show unto me, please, it's the sign of the direct object. Derach, your way. Va'edatka, that I may know you. Lama'an, that means to the ultimate destination or point of being. And matzah, I will find chen. There it is again. Chen. That's the same word we saw in your sight. Then I want to find chen in your sight. Now, why is he saying that?
Yeah, doubled up.
He's saying it because he's got to know for certain.
If he's found grace.
How many people following him across the wilderness?
6,000? 600,000.
6 million,
1.6 million.
That's just the men.
That's just the men. Now, how many Holiday Inns are on this road across the desert here and to the place they're heading to?
0 or 1 or 0.
0. Of course, Holiday Inn might be referencing the holy days. I don't.
Holy Day Inn. Holy Day Inn. I like it.
But the point here is, you say, I have found favor in your sight. He's very favor from the Lord. Are you following this? And if I don't really have it yet, make it happen. Where's our hope come from? Yahweh Roi, Lo Exar. That's right. And so here he's saying, if I have found favor in your sight, then let me find favor in your sight. In other words, don't play games with me. Let's get on with the real show here. He wants to know. And he says, in order that, Amakai, your people, Hagoi Hazet, the nation, this nation. And then Yahweh returns to him, Vayomer, and he said, Panai, my presence, in other words, my face, Yelechu, shall go. It's funny that it's a Panai. Panai means literally my faces, plural.
It's always plural.
Yelechu will go or walk or proceed with you. The Chanichoti. Chanichoti. That means, and give you rest I shall. It's kind of like Yoda, you know. Give you rest I shall unto you. That sounds so much like Yoda. I know where they got Yoda's talk, his language, you know, right there, right from the Torah. but I will give you rest. And then he said unto him, Im ein panecha holachim, if not your presence goes, in other words, with us, not ta'alenu, do not take us up. Do not you take us up. Sounds more and more like Yoda, doesn't it? Mizeh, from here. I don't want to go anywhere without you, Lord. I don't want to take this people up anywhere without you. If you're going to bring us out to this place that you're taking us, then bring us out to this place you're taking us. And you didn't tell me who was going to go with us. For wherein ubama, that's really like in how, yivada, and that's related to yoda, to know, yada yada.
I thought you were going to go back to Star Wars.
Well, Yoda, Yoda means one who knows. Tell me these writers weren't Jewish. I guarantee you they read the Torah.
Probably.
And it says, for wherein shall yivada, and that's like yada means to know intimately, like a man and a wife knows each other.
Right.
Okay. Epho literally means where or here in this case, because matzati, you have found kin, grace, by Anaka, and you have found favor or grace in my sight, in your sight. Ani the amaka, I and your people. Halo is not, the no is an absolute form of not, okay? Belechtaka, that you go imanu, with us.
What, could we look at the root? Is lo the root on that word? Halo? Because it means the not. Okay, yeah, lo is.
Shorish is low. The low is it's like a time base, okay? If you say hasha'a,
The time.
that means now is. Now the time is o'clock.
Okay.
So just by putting the word the in front of a adjective, I guess you could say, or I guess, what is it, an adjective?
Is that a rule?
Yeah, if you say Shabbat, you're talking about this Shabbat.
Today.
If you're talking about Hayom, you're talking about this Yom, this day. If you're talking about HaShavua, this week. Hashanah, this year.
Right.
Okay? So when we have ha in front of a word, it changes it into an imperative this kind of a situation. So now it says halo, means the not. So what would that mean then?
Hello. No, I'm teasing.
It means this not. To now not. Or anyway, you get the point. Okay, so belechtaka, and that you go, the cha on the end of it up here on the screen here, right up on the screen on your left, that cha on the end of it is you. And lech means to go.
Literally walk.
To go or walk. So in walking you, imanu, with us. Im means with. Imanu is with us.
Like Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, Emmanuel is,
God with us.
yeah. With us, yeah, Imanu. Okay, continuing on then in the next verse. And Yahweh said unto Moses, also, Hadaber, the thing, this thing, as hazeh, putting ha in front of it kind of gives it a more of a reinforcement of this. And then hazeh gives a double reinforcement of this thing. And so this matter, this thing, see, here's the word davar, meaning thing or word, matter. And then hazeh means this, ashir, that, the barta, you have spoken, eseh, I will do. This is the word of Yahweh. Oh, you found favor in my sight. If I found favor, you found favor in my sight, then let me find favor in your sight. He's a little concerned here. He's got a huge job to do. He needs some reinforcement from the Lord showing that he really is going with him. You follow me? And it's always about favor, grace.
Yeah.
And if I found grace in my sight, va'eda'atcha, and you, va'eda'atcha b'shem. He says, I know you by name. I have found grace in my sight. This is Yahweh speaking. I found grace I have found in your sight, in my sight, and I know you. Edah, that's the same as the Yada I told you about earlier. B'shem, I have known you by name. I've known you in name. What does Moshe mean?
Draw out, yeah, from the water.
If you look at the letters like we talked about in the past, cast that devil out of that monitor.
Amen.
I'm serious. Somebody knows how, just cast that, rip that devil out of that screen. I'm telling you, start working. Well, there it did it the minute we did that, didn't it? I love it. You know, our so spiritual life is so spiritual, and it's so spiritual that nobody believes it when it happens. But there was proof right there in front of you, isn't it? Okay. So he's still all this concerned about this grace matter. He's got a huge job to do, and he doesn't think he can do it. And the only way he can do this job is if Yahweh goes with him. And he said, Hareni, show me, with the term the on front of it, the showing of me, please. Is the root, the shorish. Shorish is or things of that nature. It's a concept. So kavod actually means heaviness.
Yeah.
The weight, the heaviness. And when you're speaking to, in this natural world, a governor or a president or a king of a country in this world, his name and his role carries weight to it, and you don't dare cross him. Are you following? Means weight or heaviness or the prestige or the said, show me, I beseech you now, your glory. He Hebrew gives you a more intense package of what all this means. It really weighs heavy on Moses. Are you really with me? You haven't told me who you're going to send with me now, so you got I need to know, me or are you against me? I found grace in your favor and favor in your sight. He didn't feel like he quite had it yet. He wanted it. He needs it bad. He's been given a job to do that he can't do. can't do. I need your grace.
That's what Rambam says. Ramban. Oh, and so that he could grasp how God conveys
The English again. Let's go up. Verse 12. Look, you say to me, make these people move on. But I know you by name. And more difficult to get, in my opinion, because it's watered down the intensity that Moses is feeling about. Because God's given me a job to do that I can't do.
only he can do.
Only He can do it. This morning I said, Lord, I can't do this. You're going to have to teach. He's teaching, and He's doing a good job of it. And even the fact that we had a demon spirit interfering with the second this, but God wants you to do this. He wants you to know the reality. Works every time. If it's a demon, and cast that demon out of there, because that is the opposing. Okay, but I know, but we can try putting it back on and see. But you know, set your mind at rest. My presence will. To Moses with the same intensity that Moses is imploring He went, it said that he went and he burned before the Lord. In the Hebrew, the word is to burn in worship. It's like a slow burning incense. It lasts and lasts and lasts. It's not a 5-minute prayer, okay? He went before the Lord and he burned with an intensity before the Lord for his wife, that she would become pregnant. Bam, she got pregnant. God responded to him the same intensity, it says in the Hebrew. So then it says his to inquire. Going on in my womb here. I don't know what's happening. Yes, sir?
Who was that man of God?
Hard to tell, but it was probably Shem.
I believe it was too.
Shem was a man of God. He was a descendant of Noah, and Noah was a preacher of righteousness according to Hebrews.
He was an old man at that time.
And God's ways. So anyway, going to be here. Rivka. Okay, so Rivka are two peoples, two nations in your womb, and they're already. It's the same intensity. In Yahweh, then let it be in Yahweh, and go before Him with this intensive desiring. We need to pray. Is he or is he not?
Yes.
And say, "Oh Lord, help me," and then go off and blessings, Lord, the ones you promised in the Torah.
Mm-hmm.
Salvation. My salvation, my answer, my hope comes from Yahweh. And that's the way it works. Anybody like that? Well, I know I'm 5 minutes over, but I was 30 to get it all out there. He's faithful and just and kind and his. Well, that's what we got coming up. Go ahead and take a break, and we'll start.
You were right, Yoter.
Yoter was what I was thinking it was.
I ask you to feed me. I need living water, Lord. Please pour it on me so I'll have something to give others. In the name of Messiah Yeshua, amen. Baruch Hashem. Now let's take a look at the word Adam. I'm not used to having this little ear mouse. Okay, so we've got the word Adam here. It reads from right to left. Okay, so what we have here is we have an aleph. That's God's letter. That's the first letter of El, meaning God. And we have Dam, Dalet, which is the letter means doorway. And then we have a Mem Safit, which is a closed loop. Now, when I look at Tam, I can't see inside of her. She says, thank God, you know. You are a closed system. You have a small orifice opening, but you don't really have all that much of a way for anybody to know you except to watch your behavior and to talk to you. That's about it. Okay? So Adam, in that same way, was a closed system. You know, the circulatory system for the blood is a closed loop. And the lymph system is also a closed loop. It's a way for the body to deal with poisons and toxins and things in your body. Well, Adam was the same way, and he had this letter here as Aleph means God, and Dam, the last two letters here, means blood. So if you look at these last two letters, that means blood, Dam. So Aleph, Adam then literally means a God with blood. That's what he is. Now we go on to chapter 3, verse 1. The serpent was cunning. Have you ever met a cunning snake? Slithering along on the ground. Crush that head. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which Yahweh of the gods had made. He said to the woman, has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? The woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat of it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Oh, wait a minute. That's not exactly what God said, is it? Isn't that just the same way Satan works today? It's exactly the same. Satan just doesn't know any new tricks. But we are too stupid to learn and defeat him at his own game. And that's what we're supposed to do. You will not surely die, for God knows the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. He told her the truth. God said, are you? Okay, so he wasn't running from